Azure for Haps News, the network of now. It is Wednesday, October 21st, and we've got 13 days left till Election Day, though millions of Americans have already voted. And this morning, we'll be joined by Devin Pandy. He's running for Congress in Georgia's 9th Congressional District. We're going to talk about his attempts to flip this district blue and talk about the incredible voter turnout in Georgia, some of the long wait lines that we're seeing in Georgia, and talk about voter enthusiasm in that state and why this state is turning into a swing state. All this and more on the AM Report. Thank you, everyone, for joining this morning. I'd like to welcome Devin Pandy to the broadcast. Devin, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
We got 13 days left till Election Day, and you're running in Georgia's 9th Congressional District, which is a very historically red district. It's a very Republican district up in the northeast section of Georgia. Let's talk a little bit about this race, and with 13 days left to go, what are you doing to turn out voters in your district?
Yes, we are making a huge push right now, still to get out the vote, black and the black vote, the Latino vote, the leaning Republican vote. We have digital and radio ads going out right now, and just making sure that our message gets out to everyone. Like you said, this is the third reddest district, the third most Republican district in the country. So the odds are stacked against us. It just so happens that people are starting to wake up to the GOP's tactics on how they win elections, and also how they have not been supporting the people through this COVID crisis economically. And so because of those things, we have a lot of folks, not only Republicans, but independents, first-time voters, Republicans who are supporting this campaign. So I think we have a great chance to make a great showing. I'm very excited.
Fantastic. And the 9th Congressional District does cover Northeast Georgia. We just showed a graphic to our viewers. A lot of the counties include Banks, Dawson, Albert, Franklin, Gilmer. A big swath of Georgia's northeast section is covered by this district. It is a historically red district, and you're running on a pretty progressive platform. Let's talk a little bit about the issues that you're bringing to this district. Running on a platform of affordable, quality healthcare and medication. You have an Essential Workforce Protection Act proposal that calls for personal protective equipment, 100% COVID-19 testing for workers and their families, hazard pay, paid sick leave, and more for our essential workers. Why did you make healthcare an essential portion of your platform, and how are you getting this message out to your voters in the 9th Congressional District?
Well, when I become the representative for this district, I'm not only representing Democrats. I'm representing everyone. I'm not only representing voters. I'm representing everyone. And so one of the biggest topics in the world that touches everyone, that has an effect on everyone, no matter who you are, where you're from, what your political affiliation is healthcare. Everyone needs healthcare. Everyone needs the opportunity to stay healthy, to get better, to survive. And that takes a robust healthcare system to ensure that we can provide that for our people. And so it only made sense that should be something that we tackle. And I know that we like to call new ideas progressive, but it's those new ideas that created this country. It's those new ideas that ended slavery. It's those new ideas that are going to take us now from a sick care system to a real healthcare system. And I'm getting out that message just like this, by going on programs like yours, by doing radio interviews. And we have made a big splash in this district. Like you said, this is a historically Republican district, but people are starting to take notice of what I and my campaign are trying to do. We are not interested in power. We are not interested in simply towing the party line. Our interest is improving the everyday lives of everyday citizens.
Well, and if someone's going to do it, Devin, it's you. And let's talk a little bit about you and what you bring to the table. You're a retired U.S. Army warrant officer, a combat veteran. You were wounded at war. You served 21 years in 5 deployments to Kuwait, Iraq, Panama, and Afghanistan. You are a model citizen, and you're running in this district with really impressive credentials. So what inspired you to go from being a retired combat veteran, having been wounded at war, to decide to run for Congress with such what feels like a really inspirational but uphill battle ahead of you?
Wow, you put that make me sound really great.
Hey,
I am the first to tell you I am not perfect. I am not perfect. My family came from very humble beginnings. We immigrated to this country when I was an infant, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle to make our way up, and we had to find ways to do so. And I just happened to find a way to live my American dream, which is to serve my country and to make life better for my children. And so that's what I did. Finding myself in this situation now is both humbling and a blessing. I've realized that I thrive on helping others. I thrive on knowing that the things that I do benefit others in a positive way. And so I got into this because of that, because I saw that our current representative was not doing anything to help the district. All our current representative, Doug Collins, was doing is defending a president who has broken the law, who is immoral, in my opinion, immoral, unconstitutional, and criminal. And so not only was he defending that, instead of defending our democracy, our democratic republic, instead of defending the Constitution, but he was also putting down true patriots who were speaking truth to power, like Professor K and Colonel Vinman. And I cannot sit back and simply watch as bad things are happening to good people. I cannot do that.
Devin, we've got a lot of people joining this morning saying hello from LA. We've got Mark Goldman. Christopher Drago says good morning, and he says as a healthcare worker, thank you for making healthcare such a top priority on your platform. Kim Larkin Floria says you can do it. On the topic of the president, we know that representatives like your opponent who have decided to use as their campaign tactics and as their only form of governance is to attach themselves to Trump. But we do hear lots of problematic reporting coming out about how Trump has called those wounded at war, military veterans, losers and suckers. How does that make you feel as someone who served for 21 years? And do you think that this is going to be a day of reckoning for the president and the people who've enabled him?
You know, this president, and let me first caveat what I'm about to say by saying that saying anything as a person, as a patriot who loves this country, as a patriot who has served this country, who has served under two Democratic presidents, but also a Republican president, I have always supported my commander in chief, always, and I continue to do so now. What I will not do is allow anyone, I don't care who they are, president or not. I will not sit back and allow anyone to abuse the office that they're in, to abuse the American people, to lie and trick and bamboozle the American people. I will not allow it. I will not stand for it. I don't care who it is. I've had negative things to say about President Barack Obama, about George Bush, about Bill Clinton. No one is perfect, but at least you can try to be. And this president is not trying to be anything but self-serving. And I cannot sit back and just watch that happen. I just went off on a tangent there. So if you could remind me what your actual question was, I'll be glad to answer it.
You answered perfectly, and we've got some more comments coming in from you. Emma Kendrick Cross says, "Thank you for your work. My mother passed away 5 days after her 83rd birthday from COVID-19. She went to her doctor with a 100.7 temperature. He sent her home." So a lot of personal stories coming in, and a lot of people really looking for change in Washington, and for our leadership to start taking this pandemic seriously. I'm glad that you are making it a focal point of your campaign with over 220,000 American lives lost. I think it's very important. And thank you for your service and for your thoughts on the president. I want to turn the conversation a little bit to what's happening in Georgia. There seems to be something very special happening in Georgia. I was in Atlanta, which isn't in your district, last week, and I want to show our viewers for a minute just what I observed there while checking out some of the wait times in Georgia. So Devin, this was of course just last Thursday, and we now know that number is even higher. In Georgia specifically, there have been 1.9 million ballots cast in early votes and mail-in ballots in Georgia, which is a historic turnout. That's 27% of all registered voters have already voted in Georgia. What's going on there with these long? First, I want to talk about this enthusiasm that's coming out of Georgia. What is happening in Georgia that's got so many voters just really out there and making democracy happen?
Well, like I said before, people are taking notice. They're taking notice not only of the failed policies of this administration, but also of the tactics that this administration is using to suppress the vote. And so that has, though it's worked in the past, there is so much movement right now, so much activism in generating enthusiasm for voting that it's working, and their tactics are failing. And let me just say that that if you don't know, the reason why and when I say they, I mean the GOP, the reason why they suppress our votes, why they don't want us to vote, is because they are in the minority, and they know that when we vote, we win. And the only way that they can win is to either suppress those votes or to gerrymander where those votes go, so that you can win a presidential election, even though you've lost you've lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. So it's been their tactic for decades, and we are not only wise to it, but we are taking steps to fight it. Special shout out to Stacey Abrams and Fair Fight. It's because of them and other activists that we are seeing record numbers of people voting, record numbers of 18 through 24 aged young folks voting, record numbers of first-time voters voting. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and I was really actually inspired to see those lines in Georgia, although your governor, Brian Kemp, is known for his attempts to suppress the vote and has engaged in voter purges, and it seems like everything that they're trying to throw at the kitchen sink this time is not really sticking. So it's good to see such a big turnout. What do you think of these long wait lines, though? Is it just voter enthusiasm, or does Georgia still have work to do with regards to making voting more accessible and easy for all of its citizens?
Oh, we've definitely got a lot of work to do. Seeing those long lines is a combination of enthusiasm for voting, but also another sign of voter suppression. There have been, I don't remember the number now, but there have been, I want to say hundreds of polling places that have been closed down just in this state. And so when you have a county that has literally only one voting place, that just is not right. When you have, literally tens of thousands of people that their only option is to go to one place. Now, that is helped by the fact that we have early voting. And so that's great because it breaks those numbers down, but it still doesn't make it right to have only one voting place, especially in your larger counties where people without transportation and where public transportation may not be that great have to travel 10, 15, 20 miles just to get to their voting place. We claim that we are that we stand by the Constitution. We claim that we are Americans and that this is the greatest country in the world. Yet the one thing that separates us from most other countries, which is our democratic system, is constantly being or trying to be shut down. And I just don't know how we can live with ourselves and call us a democratic republic when we have stripped the democracy out of that equation.
Well, and here's to hoping there's a change coming. This has been Devin Pandy. He's running for Congress in Georgia's 9th Congressional District to turn this district blue. Devin, where can people find you and support your campaign with only 13 days left to go until Election Day?
Everyone can go to my website at devinpandyforcongress.com. That's DEVINPandyforcongress.com. From there, you can look at what my platform is. You can contact the campaign. And if you would like to contact me directly, you can either email the campaign from the website, which is email@devinpandyforcongress.com, and just put in your message that you would like to speak to me directly. You can call me at 706-449-0022. I am not a politician. I am a common person trying to do good things for great people. And so I plan to have an open door policy. I am transparent, and I will actually have town halls. I can't tell you the last time our current representative had a town hall. I can't tell you the first time my current representative had a town hall. We have promised, we have pledged to have at least quarterly town halls in this district. Contact me if you like. Let me know what your concerns are. I try to keep my ears to the ground so that I can do the things that are best for the people. But sometimes I will never know if you don't tell me. Talk to me and I will listen.
Fantastic. You've got a lot of comments of support. Bridget says, keep up the great work, Devin. Sarah Collins says, doing great, Devin. Keep up the good work. Christopher Draco says, good luck, Devin. Sarah says, Devin for Congress. This has been Devin Pandy on the AM Report with Alex Mahaja for Haps News, the network of Now. We are live every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern with all of your quick political progressive news and headlines to get your day started right. If you like this content, if you like this journalism, please consider sponsoring it. Visit me at haps.tv/@AlexMahajer, and we will be back tomorrow morning. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Devin, for joining the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was wonderful being here. I'm always happy to speak to and hear from